Hey, Aaron from GameEnthus.com, and I guess it's a rare sight because I'm actually on camera, which I typically don't like being on camera unless I'm podcasting. But change can be good. So, I recently, like a week and some change ago, got back from PAX Unplugged. It's 2021, and this video is sort of just talk about some of the things I saw. I would go into the people that I met, but I met so many. I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'll kind of play it safe. And so I got to meet a lot of people that I've spoken to online, on Twitter, and all types of things for the last 2 years. And it was, to put it mildly, phenomenal. A lot of good stuff. Just want to go over some of the things that I saw on the show floor and near the show floor, and I just wanted to highlight them. So let's begin. So one of the first stops I made on the show floor was to the booth for Talon Strike Studios. Talon Strike is the publisher of games like Vinyl, Winterborn, Public Market, things like that. A wide variety of different types of games. So I had a chance to sit down with the designer, Eric Alvarado, and check out Vinyl Season's Greetings. And if you look up in, this corner, you should see a little bookmark there. I recently put up a review for that game. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So Vinyl Season's Greetings is sort of akin to some of the other Vinyl games, with one of the exceptions being that you are building, one of the differences is you are building like a Christmas tree made up of different cards. So it's still a lot of set collection and matching and things like that. Very fun game. Very easy to get into. So yeah, Vinyl Season's Greetings. And another game I had a chance to try on the show floor that I own, but I have yet to actually try it myself, is right above my head, which is Chai. So some of the pictures are up, and Chai is not a new game, but it was new to me in that I sadly own it and have yet to crack the sale on it, but it's happening. Chance to do a demo of a couple of rounds in Chai. Really liked it. And this is actually the deluxe, the deluxe version. So it has a lot of the the visual bells and whistles that just make a very nice game. I take a very nice game in terms of production quality and production value, and just ramps it up even more. So chance to check out Chai. A lot of fun. You should see some images on screen of some hands that happen to be Chai. So I also stopped by the Haba booth, Haba USA, check out some things they had. One of the games they had was called Hammer Time. So Hammer Time is if you don't know a whole lot about Haba, Haba is a publisher that makes games that I believe conform to some of the German equivalent to the U.S. Department of Education standards for certain cognitive goals or requirements for children for children. So Haba games are definitely, many of them are geared towards kids and specific about developing, augmenting certain types of cognitive skills. So Hammer Time is interesting. You actually take a hammer, which sadly is not in the picture, and you will be sort of tapping the side of the box you see in the picture. And by doing so, you want to knock down certain colors of jewels. If you happen to just bang it, and I think, is it 6 or 8 fall? If a certain number of jewels fall, that's not good. So that's the factor that limits people from just banging on the side of the box and trying to win. One of the other games that was at Haba's booth was a series called The Key. There's a couple of them, and these are interesting games because they're sort of they're meant to develop, well, it says here on the back of the box, actually, you can't see it, deduction, speed, attention, and concentration. So the idea is you are getting certain cards. There's flip and right elements to it where you're getting certain cards, and you are going to be using the process of elimination and trying to figure out who committed certain crimes and things like that. In The Key, it's flip and right, but it's more on the investigative side of it, where certain crimes have been committed, and you're going to take the facts that you do know and and going onto the boards and using the process of elimination to figure out who did certain things. It plays in about 20 minutes, it says, and it's from 1 to 4 players, ages 8 to 99. So if you are under 7 or 100 and over, I guess you can't play. I'm kidding. That was a bad joke. So that is the key. I think there's 3 of them. It's one of the ones that I got from the booth. Theft in Cliffrock Villa. Another game I had a chance to check out from Copperfrog Games is Chiseled. This is a deck sculpting card game. This is an interesting one. It's from 1 to 4 players, 14 and up, plays in about 30 minutes. So there's a series of tools that players are going to be using in this game. Which just will like zoom in better. 3 critics. One set of tools, no excuses. So the whole how the game flow is basically you have a deck of cards, and many of the cards are full of certain body parts. The idea is you have a deck and the goal is to make a sculpture. So you're going to be shedding from that deck to dwindle down to fewer cards, which you hope comprise body parts and things and materials that will please some or all of the critics, because there's 3 critics will give you certain bonus points for having certain features in it. But then you'll lose certain points if you have too many arms or too many heads and things like that. Very interesting. I have not played anything quite like this before. So this is an interesting one. Chiseled from Copperfrog Games, and the designer is his name on here. Michael Epstein is the designer of this game. So he ran me through a demo on the show floor and had a good time with this one. This was definitely one of the highlights. So the game you see on screen now is for Vivid Memories from Floodgate Games, and got a little demo of that one. That one was on Kickstarter this year or last year, and I believe that one's going to start. I guess that one's going to start being available to backers. I guess Q1 of next year. So look out for that one. So in Vivid Memories, you're going to be placing certain gems, certain spots, and trying to complete cards to earn victory points and things like that. Another game that I saw in the Floodgate Games booth was a game called Decorum, where it's a cooperative game where you and other players are going to try to decorate a house, but you all have a secret objective that's secret. So you know, other people don't know. So the issue arises of you're trying to paint, all the walls green in the house, but then someone else's objective is to paint maybe 2 of them red. And as the game goes on, you're able to, I believe, divulge some more information so you can be more successful in trying to accomplish your goals. So that is Decorum. Another game I saw at the Floodgate Games booth was Kites. So Kites is a game where players are going to be, I think you're stacking like different cards that have different colors on them. And when a certain color is up, there's going to be a sand timer. And this was a prototype. So a lot of these are prototypes. Some things you're seeing, they're not necessarily the finished product. So each sand timer, the actual sand will be the color of the timer to make it kind of pop a little bit more. You see in the image here, you're going to be stacking these cards. And then when you start a new color, I believe you have to start that sand timer. So you're going to have multiple sand timers going at the same time, trying to keep everything sort of afloat. That's so there's I guess a dexterity element. It's about speed. Seemed really fun. This next one, I can't really talk too much about it. Like, I have a picture of the box, and that's kind of all that I can show. I had a chance to play it, but that would be Sagrada Legacy. So if you could imagine a Sagrada game that is a legacy game, it just sounds very intriguing. Like, I do own Sagrada. It's here somewhere. But this is a legacy game. So it's going to have elements where you're changing parts of it. And I believe there's going to be obviously a coloring in of colors and things like that. I do believe the goal is to have it be something that will be erasable. So unlike some other legacy games, maybe you're putting stickers on something or tearing something off or revealing something. I think you're going to be able to reset this a little bit easier. That's what I gleaned from the conversation with the folks at Floodgate's booth. Legacy is a game that is coming out. Kind of excited about that. Seems pretty cool. Anyway, what you see on screen now is just one of, I guess, a picture of a game called Subastral. That game is published by Renegade Games, Renegade Studio, Renegade Games. Designed by Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback. I think 2/3 of Motor City Games. They also designed Fleet the Dice game and Three Sisters, both rolling rights. Subastral was not on the show floor, and it's not a rolling right, but same designers as those other games. Thing about Subastral makes it interesting is that I played this game, I think 6 times throughout the weekend of PAX. You know, I would, Hungry Gamer and I would be sitting in the media room, and we'd have some time to kill. A couple of mornings, we play Subastral. I meet up with people later on, we play Subastral. I just kept playing Subastral. I don't really like it. I know it was not. You can just buy it now. It's just out. Well, a lot of these games you can buy now, but Subastral, I really like that game. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I don't know. Subastral. I just kept playing it. It just really, really dug that game. So that's the thing. I guess I would be remiss if I didn't actually talk about how you played Subastral. So Subastral, strictly card game. You are placing. Basically, there's 8 different biomes, and you are trying to build a tableau with as many different biomes as possible. But when you build a chain of different biomes from left to right, you only score for every connection you make. So if you have 1 card, a space, and then 6 other cards, you only count that 1 because you don't have them all. And the order you get them in, you have to continue to place them in those columns. So some cards have a different, some more are rare than others. So you're trying to get cards to make sure that you have a full complete sets. That's what you get the most points for. And what makes it tricky is when you place a card into the cloud columns, you kind of see in the middle there's 6 of them, 6 areas, if you will. If you place a card on 4, because it says 4, you can take the cloud card sections, the cards in sections 1 through 3, you can put into your hand. Anything higher, you can put into your tableau. So if you see something out there, it's hard to get something from your hand to your tableau. You have to put it back out there to get it back, but pick it from a higher numbered area to put it into your tableau. At the end of the game, you get to score up your 2 largest groups of the same biome card. Very fun game. Really enjoy it. Looking forward to playing with my family. So, Subastral. Walking around the show floor at Pax Unplugged, I realized, hey, I'm standing in front of Dr. Finn's games booth. So I got a chance to meet Steve Finn. I'm a big fan of many of his games. I had a chance to sit down and play some Mining Colony with some complete strangers. Had a good time doing it, though. I've played Mining Colony. I played my own copy, but it was nice to just get a quick game of Mining Colony, and I really enjoy that one. Has some polyominoes and some tile placement. Somewhat of a race condition to meet certain requirements because there's a limited number of specific structures that can be built. When they're gone, they're gone. So I had a good time playing that. I enjoy a lot of Steve Finn's games, and it was really nice meeting him as well. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, check out Mining Colony and a lot of other Dr. Finn's games, and a lot of the collaborative efforts that he's done with Pencil First, or Herbaceous, Floriferous, and the list goes on and on. So check out Dr. Finn's games and Pencil First games. I had a chance to meet Jay Bell. He and Adam Stitcher designed a game called Spotlight, air control game, 1 or 2 players. Very fun game. I had a chance to meet him at PAX Unplugged, and he signed the box. So that was pretty cool. Shout out to Jay Bell. All right, next up, this is one of the sheets from a game called Merchants of Magick, designed by Clarence Simpson and published by Rock Manor Games. So they did have a booth on the show floor. Now, this game actually was sent to me by Clarence, I think the week prior to PAX. I didn't get a chance to play it, but he was there doing demos. Had a chance to sit down with him. We just to finish the game, ran through most of the demo. My impressions, very fun rolling right. I will have a review coming out at some point for it in the near future. Yeah, the theming is you're a merchant and you're trying to acquire different items to sell to adventurers and things, and you get more points for selling specific items to a specific customer that is loyal to you and only you and things like that. And it's kind of an element where if you cards in front of you that you'll be able to meet the requirements for to get the points for, if you don't do it, they'll move to your left, but then there's a chance they might come back around to you towards the end of the game. So if things you don't finish then, you might be able to finish later. Very fun game. So that was my first impression of it. That was pretty cool. All right, this image here, I had a chance to sit down with, I think they merged with another studio. Of course, I sat down, I'm forgetting like everything. But I had a chance to check out some of their offerings. There are games that you might recognize like Shaman, Masterword, Nidavellir. But most of the demo was for a game called Iki, and which takes place in the Edo? I think the Edo period in Japan, I believe. And it's a worker placement game. It's a Euro where you're going to be placing different characters and going to various spots to earn all types of different things. It's a Euro, but it's very pretty. Even though it doesn't look like it, it does have sort of a rondel type element to it. Very nice. It looks nice, very visually striking. It's a good looking game. Had some fun with that one. And then there was a co-op one called Oltree, which they developed a narrative for a lot of the different characters, and also has art from Vincent Dutrait, who also did the art for 100 Tori, one of my favorites. And that one is a co-op game where you are adventurers of different abilities, and you're keeping the land safe and defeating monsters and things like that. And things get progressively harder and worse, but you have to change your tactics up and do the best you can to keep things safe for the people. So that was some of their offerings that they had. So Funko was there pretty much showcasing one game only, but a big game. They have a legacy game called Jurassic World, the legacy of Isla Nublar, and it's a legacy game. So of course there's going to be things to unlock and all types of things like that. And it's just, I took a ton of pictures. It seems like a pretty big game. It's going to be a pretty big box. It's going to come with several characters, lots of unlockables, and a comic book. There's going to be a lot in there, and players are going to be working together to accomplish all types of things. You'll be messing around with some genetics, and actually, because it is a legacy game, there's going to be some scratch off portions of cars, things like that. It's a legacy game, and if you look here in this image, you will see a raptor talon that will come in the box that you can use to scratch off different parts of the card. So, and you see some minis and things here as well. You can see that the raptor coming through a door. So yeah, definitely some good stuff. So they're putting a lot of work in on that one. So I believe that's going to be coming out next year, I believe 2022. So yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. And some of these other images are just some of the many components and envelopes and things that you'll be unlocking playing that game. You'll be playing some familiar characters from the films, and then some other ones as well. So that is Jurassic World, the legacy of Isla Nublar. So, and next up, one of my favorite designers, Jean Declaire. I'm a big QB Toes and Mystic Veil. I mean, Jean Declaire does this thing. He has one coming out called Rolling Heights. So Rolling Heights was being demoed to some. I didn't get a chance to demo it, but they did have it in the booth, in the AEG booth. So that was pretty dope. And the interesting one about this one is it's like a city building game. You're competing to build skyscrapers in areas, things like that. But you're going to be rolling the Meeples, which is different. So the Meeples sort of have this dice-like. I mean, they feel like they're the same material, same type of plastic and things that are used in dice. So you'll be actually rolling Meeples, and based on like which ones are standing up, things like that. Hence the rolling heights. Think about it. It will enable you to take certain actions and do certain things. So that is Rolling Heights. I look forward to that one. I mean, John Declaire has been knocking them out the park as of late, so I can't imagine this one not being good as well. So Rolling Heights. All right, this next game coming up, I had a chance to demo on, I think, TTS some time ago from AG. Meeples and Monsters. So Meeples and Monsters was up on Kickstarter briefly. It is coming to retail, I believe, next year. So Meeples and Monsters is a worker placement game where you're going to have... It's a worker placement game. It's also a bag building game. So you're going to start off with a certain number of peasant meeples in the bag, and you're trying to add more clerics and knights and mages and warriors and things to your bag. So when you draw for those meeples to take actions on your next turn, you have more than just the, as different spaces have different requirements. You want to have, maybe 2 clerics or 2 mages or 2 knights or what have you. And, the more you can get some of those peasants out of the bag, I guess the more opportunities will open up to use some of the other characters. It's a lot of fun. I do enjoy it. So yeah, that is Meeples and Monsters. That is coming out, I believe, next year. And another game I had a chance to check out on the show floor was Buried Treasure from Restoration Games. Original game was designed by Sid Saxon some time ago. So there's going to be a layout of certain cards, and players, basically on your turn, you're going to take a card. If a card says more, MOAR, you will take another accessible card of that same color. And if the card has a raccoon print on it or a raccoon paw, you can steal that number of that same color from other players. So there's definitely some meanness to Buried Treasure. So it has been restored and it has been put back out from Restoration Games. So Buried Treasure, it is playable from 2 to 5 players, and it takes about 10 to 20 minutes. I did see other things in the show floor, but I feel like if I talk about every single thing that I saw, I would probably be here forever, and nobody wants that. So I'm just going to shift this over into more of a discussion about things that I picked up, pickups. I already mentioned Chiseled, so I picked that one up from Copper Frog. Holding up the same things you've already seen. Well, this one I did not get on the show floor. I probably should have. I got it about, I don't know, maybe a week later. So, Buried Treasure. I did get the final version of Vinyl Season's Greetings on the show floor at PAX. So, that is Final Season's Greetings. And I already mentioned the review of it. Before the show actually started, I had a chance to run through a demo of this game, which is called Mouse, Cheese, Cat, Cucumber. See a little cucumber guy there. And this is a game that is from 1 to 4 players where you're sort of building a maze. I don't forget how many cards there are, but you're building a maze, and each character is like somebody's the cucumber, somebody's the cheese, somebody's the cat, and somebody is the mouse. And every character has different abilities, and you're placing cards that are sort of pathfinding, and everybody has a different objective. So I believe the cucumber wants no one to win, or maybe that's the cheese. The mouse wants to get the cheese. The cat wants to get the mouse, so on and so forth. So I said I played with the designer. I met the designer. He handed me the game. The publisher is Fight in a Box. I can't forget the actual designer's name. I'm sorry. But the publisher is Fight in a Box. So, but I did get a chance to check it out. I lost both times, but I enjoyed it. I should have mentioned this when I mentioned vinyl, but to get a chance to pick up a copy of Public Market from Talon Strikes. So this one is it's a lot. So it's engine building, tile laying, there's some polyamiino stuff in here. It's kind of crunchy, so I gotta say, but I'm looking forward to it because there is a solo mode in it. It's 1 to 5 players actually. It takes 60 to 90 minutes. It's a little crunchy, but I in the brief demo I had, certainly it's worth it. And then I guess there's like a sort of a collector's bag and some extra cards as well. And I don't know if you're a fan of Tim Fowers and Fowers Games, but I am. So I had a chance to. I never played it before, and that's probably a shame. Is Paperback. So Paperback has been out since 20. I don't know. Oh, what's this 2019? I thought it maybe came out in 2016, 2017. Anyway, Paperback is a deck building game, board game. You're trying to build letters, score points, more points than your opponent. Imagine that. So this one was signed by Tim Fowers game. So Tim does good work. And another game, I think this one's been out since 2016. This is another Fowers game called Fugitive, which I guess is loosely, maybe based on TV show, maybe the movie, maybe U.S. Marshals, although not none of these characters look like Wesley Snipes. And that's not the point. Or Tommy Lee Jones. But Fugitive is a 2-player game where one player is the fugitive and one player is pursuing the fugitive. And the fugitive is trying to, get to like card 42 or 43, and the person pursuing them is trying to guess the cards that they're laying because they're putting cards face down. You can only skip, I think, up to 3 cards. Like if I put down a 1, I can also put down a 4 because it's 3 numbers away. But I'm kind of drawing randomly too. So, I'm trying to dupe the person pursuing me because I can also put a card underneath that card, which lets me skip numbers. So just sort of keep the person pursuing on their toes. Very fun game. Really liked it. Some other AEG stuff here. So AEG does this game night thing where I think it was like $40. You get a copy of 10 made by the same designers as, I'm doing it right. Yep. Point Salad. So had a chance, and nice thing is you get a chance to play them all. So it's 10, which is very fun. I really like that one. The night started off with Tiny Towns, but then you got the Villagers expansion with that thing. So I got the Villagers expansion for that. And then I had an appointment, and then I got a copy of Fortune as well. Later on, I did not have that. I do have Tiny Towns. Yeah, somewhere. And then one of their new games, Rolling Witchcraft. This one was not what I expected, and that's okay. I don't know what I expected, really, but I like it. So I didn't really realize that in the game, what you're trying to do is, it's sort of an engine building game where you're trying to meet the requirements of these cards to put them out to generate certain spells. What you really want to do is you want to generate a whole lot of certain colors. So the person to your right, after you generate certain spells and put these little cubes in little cauldrons, you're going to be passing it to that player on your right. So the idea is every cube that they can't place on their personal player board gives you a point. Whoever gets like 5 points, 4 or 5 points first wins the game. So it's a little bit of engine building there. Well, if you see the person to your right is having issues in spacing with blue, well, you want to build out cards that generate a lot of blue, magic or whatever. Blue cubes. I know it's not really thematic, but you want to generate a lot of blue, so you're passing blue to them to fill up their spots, because anything that spills over gets you points. So dug this one, Rolling Witchcraft. That was pretty dope. This game is also by the same designers of 10 and Point Salad. This is Truffle Shuffle. I have not had a chance to play this one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I like their previous work. Point Salad is a hit in my home. What else? Oh, and then they kind of threw this one in as well. This one is called... this kind of threw me off. This is Unicornus Knights, but this sword is supposed to be an eye, but it looks like a T. It's Unicornus Knights. I kept thinking like Untcorn. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so this is a I don't know. This one came out in 2017. This was in their big in Japan branding, which I know includes the game that I was told was sort of the precursor to, this one is right here, Mystic Vale, which is Custom Hero. So, but anyway, this one looks like it has some dice, and I think there's some dice placement. So I don't know. It's fun. Unicornus Knights. Check that out. I already showed you the key from Haba, and there's a couple of these. Really, they look really fun. You get all these different color cards and marking certain things off, trying to figure out who done it. So that seems pretty dope. Anything else from AG? We have, this is sort of a promotional lunchbox for, see, Rolling Heights. I'm sorry, I don't know, the cameras is kind of off today. I don't know why it's not as clear as I'd like it to be, but there's a bunch of promo packs in here, there's some sleeves in here, some stuff for, what's a thank you note, so nothing like that. Some Tiny Town stuff in here. There's some Cascadia cards in here. I like that. Some Smash Up cards. And just some sleeves I believe that will fit over the side. Mystic Veil. And a mug. So, hey, look at that. So, and a bottle opener as well. That I believe also says AG. Oh, here it is. Should have showed you this earlier. Merchants of Magic. I really like this cover a lot. Think about it. I like this cover. I like to see more covers like this. Think about it. So yeah, that was the game I mentioned a while ago. That was from, show you again. This is the Rolling Right from Clarence, Simpson, and Manor Games. So Merchants of Magic. And Merchants of Magic is a watch tale. Set of watch is a whole universe. This game sort of takes characters and things like that from it and builds a rolling right around it, where you are a merchant who's trying to create items to make that money. I should have mentioned this when I was going through my walking on the show floor, because this is definitely worth mentioning. Is I had a chance to stop by Thunderworks Games and talk to Tim over there, and we have cartographers. Now, cartographers, these three shelves here are sort of my rolling right shelves. Cartographers, the OG is right here, and I believe these are all one piece. Let's see if I'm doing this right. I don't know, am I doing this right? Must be all one piece of art. So cartographers is really dope, and the original is really dope. I like the OG cartographers. Cartographers Heroes, obviously bringing in more maps and more cards, more monsters, things like that. So I look forward to digging into this one. And then I got 3 of the map packs. So anyway, these are just more maps for cartographers. So I mean, yeah, bring it on. Oh, and they all come with some cards as well. So even more cartographers content. You'll love to see it. Another game that was at the Thunderworks booth that I somehow neglected to demo, I don't know why, was Cape May. So Cape May is about competing like some land developers in Cape May, New Jersey, and players are going to have their own personal goals, and they're trying to balance their resources and income to be the best developer in Cape May. Been a lot of talk, a lot of excitement about Cape May. It has been out since July, but it is certainly one of Thunderworks Games' most featured games, because it just came out. So, and I didn't really talk about it when I was on the show floor, which is weird, but here we are. So Cape May, having recently done a review for Rove, published by Button Shy Games, I happened to stop by the Button Shy booth, and these are some of the pickups that I got. So I got Tussie Mussy in the expansion, Sprawlopolis, Agropolis, and Combopolis. That probably sounds better, Combopolis. And then Circle the Wagons. So just a couple of pickups from Button Shy. Really like their wallet-sized games. Typically solo. Sometimes they play more. Definitely challenging. Definitely kind of like the Lay's potato chip of games. You just can't play once. You just got to keep going back and back. So I want to mention I stopped by and picked up some of their titles. So Button Shy Games, Button Shy Games. You can't just have Button Shy. They publish games. So I'm rambling. So I also had a chance to stop by the Weird Giraffe Games booth and meet Carla Kopp, who runs things over there at Weird Giraffe. And they also had one of their new games that I think is going out to backers now, but it could be purchased on the show floor I believe. Studies in Sorcery. So I done a preview for that, a Kickstarter preview for that some time ago. So it's nice to see that out in the wild. Studies in Sorcery is a set collection, I guess recipe fulfillment, order fulfillment game where your students who are studying the dark arts and you have your finals and stuff coming up, and you're trying to make all these spells by collecting certain resources and maybe selling some and things like that. Really fun game. You should definitely check it out if you have not already. So yeah, that was something. I did not get a chance to play it there, but I did get a copy of it and a mat, which you can see. So that's pretty dope. And I don't know how she feels about pictures up of it, but I did get a chance to try out a early prototype of a game Carla has coming out called Way Too Many Cats. Sort of a crunchy, not so crunchy if you don't want it to be, tile placement game about placing cats. Very fun game. Looking forward to checking that out and learning more about it. So, Weird Giraffe, Carla Cop, good stuff. So Steve Jackson Games also had a booth there. I did a demo for that, should have mentioned earlier, but I didn't, sorry. So Deadly Doodles. This is a drawn right game. So yeah, Deadly Doodles. I kind of felt bad because I did a demo of this game literally as the show floor was closing, I think for like on Saturday, I think. So this one, you're going to draw a card, reveal a card, and everybody's going to draw on their map and pick up certain weapons to kill certain enemies and try to score points. Very fun game. It's Deadly Doodles. I like that one. And this is not necessarily on the show floor, but it will be coming out soon, as will an updated review for me. I had a chance to meet the designer of this game, a Tate Wu, who's designed Boba Mahjong. Very fun game. So, set collection wrapped around more set collection. Who can say no? Very cute game. So, yeah. So I had a chance to do a round of that. He was in the Unpub area, so Boba Mahjong. Let's see what else. Oh, last but not least, certainly. Oh, maybe this is last. Actually, I'm gonna pivot a bit. I did get a chance to go over to Check Games, talk to them about the new Lost Ruins of Arnak expansion. I don't have the expansion, I do the original game somewhere over there, but I get a chance to pick up the new version of Galaxy Trucker. So yeah, now with more whimsy. It does not say that. I just said that. And a solo game that's probably gonna kick my butt forever is Under Falling Skies, also from Check Games. So this might be like the biggest solo game like I have. A lot of solo games I have are like Rolling Right, stuff like that, but like this is a big one. So I look forward to digging into this and losing a lot until maybe I figure it out. Maybe I won't. All right, I mentioned a lot of things. All right, the last thing, as I got a chance to go over to Pandasaurus and pick up Dinosaur Island Roar and Write. And to be completely frank, I'm kind of intimidated by Dinosaur Island, Dinosaur World, but I love Roll and Write, so this has interested me for quite some time. So yeah, looking forward to playing some of that. And this just came out. The original is actually in Target now, but which is still a great game. Original Machikoro. It's Machikoro 2. So yeah, this kind of game, much like Above My Head over here, like Space Base, where you're playing this game and there's really never a dull moment, because when other people roll, you get to do stuff, and that's dope. Also means you really can't go to the bathroom, so you have to commit. You sit down and play Machikoro 2, you're playing Machikoro 2 till completion. I mean, you can get them to go to the bathroom, but you risk maybe not getting some stuff if you get up and go. You know, you make those choices for yourself. So, Machikoro 2. And some cards that go with it. And we have this one here, which is another new one from Pandasaurus, That Time You Killed Me, which almost looks like 3 little mini separate chess boards. And there's like different packs and stuff in the game as well. I need to get into, almost dropped it. And to get into this one, basically the premise is somebody invented a time machine, and says the good news, you invented a time machine. The bad news, someone is going to murder you and steal your invention. So things you do have a certain effect. So players are basically going to switch between playing on 3 different boards, where this one is where things begin, and then there's effects and things that can happen that kind of ripples through, and then some things kind of happen backwards. So it's like plants and things. You can push another player into a plant and kill them. And interesting premise, very interesting premise. It's 2 players. It says 15 to 30 minutes. So, time you killed me, and some kind of deck here of some additional. If you complete certain achievements, you can unlock more stuff. So there's more content there. So anyway, that's a lot of stuff. Good thing I drove, because had I not, I got there in a car, this would not have really been possible. So yeah, shout out to driving. Looking forward to playing many of these as humanly possible, especially with these upcoming holiday times. So I didn't want to get into like names and stuff, but here's some pictures of people that I had a chance to meet. I met more, but just some pictures that I just kind of had at my fingertips. People that I got a chance to hang out with, break bread with, play a game, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go out on that note. But yeah, if you made it to this part of the video, thank you for watching. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the video. Give it a like, thumbs up, share, all that good stuff. And take care. Stay safe. Get boosted if you have not. Get vaccinated if you have not. And be blessed.